Hey, everybody. How you doing? Let's see. Welcome if you are new to the channel. Welcome back if you love me. Let's see whose sign it is. Today, Pisces. Congrats, fishies. It is your day. What other placements may be significant for you at this time, or if you are cross-watching? We've got Scorpio. Scorpio has been making themselves known on these dice. I ain't even playing. Then we've got North Node. And 12th house. So straight up Pisces with the 12th house could also be Neptune. North Node is significant to the signs that you have your nodes in. If you have a Pisces node, this is going to be important for you, especially if it's the North one. And then anything Scorpio, so it could be Mars related. You could have a Mars in Pisces. It could be Pluto related, right? No one has Pluto in Pisces, though. You may have it in the 12th house. Okay, you may have your Pluto placement in the 12th house. You could have it in the 8th house. You could have Mars in the 12th or the 8th. So take it as it resonates. The dice energy themselves, Scorpio, North Node, 12th house. Wow. If you just so happen to have North Node in Scorpio in the 12th house, that energy, Scorpio is deeply psychic, and in the 12th house is deeply troubled. You may have even grown up with certain things. We'll call them the 7 deadly sins, right? Grew up in a really close experience with people who dealt with those and how that affects you today, right? Whether you have fallen down the same rabbit hole or have avoided it like the plague, right? And maybe try and heal it in other people. The part of yourself that feels out of control, and is constantly trying to figure out a way to maintain control in a very almost obsessive way, that it makes you really uncomfortable to feel like control is slipping. And if you are Scorpio 12th houser, that would put you at a Sag rising. So if you're a Sag rising with that kind of energy, you may need to consider uprooting yourself and where you are and moving, right? Because Sag is the sign of travel and expansion. And sometimes you just need to get the fuck out of wherever you are. You just got to get the fuck out of wherever you are. So let's do a cosmic currency quick snapshot for Pisces. Alrighty. Pisces, let me put you on the rise. Fast forward just a little bit so I can have you at 0 degrees rising. Okay. Settings. Equal. Cool. Okay. So Piscean energy. Right now, you've got Saturn at the 29th degree conjunct North Node. Okay, so the current North Node in Pisces could be affecting you, and this could be a very general message for everybody. Okay, so do not get hung up on the signs. Saturn is with North Node in Pisces, right, at the very end. So Saturn's going to be moving in Aries. Can't come soon enough, to be completely honest. Pisces, 29 degrees, Saturn is going to be playing with Jupiter, right? That square that Jupiter is making from 26 degrees Gemini. There's the South Node in Virgo, but it's not, causing anything different that wouldn't already be going on in there, because North Node and South Node are what they are. And you don't have anything else in Sag that's confronting you either. So really the biggest obstacles, well, now the sun in Gemini, right? Because it's Gemini season. Happy birthday, Gems. But the big challenges you're taking are from 2 degrees Gemini and 26 degrees Gemini. So if you have placements in Pisces or your nodes, you know, or something are around there, Mars or Pluto is around those degrees, you're probably feeling it, right? You're probably feeling it. Now, Gemini is going to demand that you analyze the deep subconscious of Saturn and Pisces. It's asking you to get off your ass, right? The sun now, Jupiter and Saturn can duke it out, but the sun's in there now back in Jupiter. Like they're having a conversation in the same room and they're talking to Saturn like, yo, bud, we need to get through this, right? We need to get through this energy, especially because the sun is still technically in like a sextile. It's not challenging Saturn yet from like closer to where Jupiter is. So it's like trying to be reasonable. It's trying to be reasonable. Like, let's look at the facts of the reality. Let's look at what is, right? Let's look at what is. Let's call spades spades. Let's take a penny for face value. You know, if it's a diamond, it's a diamond. If it's glass, it's glass. And we can't make pretend. You know, this is about data. Gemini is about information, knowledge, and data. How can you take the knowledge that you are aware of, right? The facts that you're aware of, and see how they have challenged you spiritually when you resist the facts, when you go against the natural flow of energy, right? Like when people deny the truth, like Gemini, like Sag, it's a truth speaker, and it's light. And it's light. Shadow is a whole nother thing. And I think people could go on forever talking about crazy Geminis and their low vibe shit. But there is a big difference between low vibe gems and high vibe gems. High vibe gems are truth speakers. They get the data and the facts before they speak on things. You know, they're diligent. They're diligent. And they could probably bring some humor to information too. Like Geminis are a lot of fun. They can be. And I think the biggest challenge would be not to distort the facts of the reality, and not just the facts of the reality, but where your soul sits with the choices that you're making, right? In whatever reality you're in, and being at this kind of nodal crossroad, you know, especially because it's squared Jupiter. Jupiter is squaring the nose. It's a crossroad. You have to decide what feels good for your soul and what you need to work on so that your soul can feel better, you know, in your everyday as a Virgo South node. So Pisces, that's the big energy. I mean, you're also getting that sextile from Pluto at 3 degrees to Saturn, because they're at the very beginning and the very ends of the signs that they're present in. Is closer to a sextile. So there's like an opportunity to really take in some transformative perspective shifts, to really take in a reinvention of how you think and reason, right? It's not just about baseline facts, but it's logical reasoning and being able to read the energy for what it is and understand you're never better than anybody else. As a matter of fact, you're exactly where they are. And if you could swallow that pill, then you can move to the next step, right? So Pisces, I hope that gives you a little bit of insight, because the main focus is what you're dealing with Gemini energy. There are no major trines coming from the other water signs. Cancer is empty till Jupiter pops in there. And Scorpio is empty bar, you know, a couple minor luminaries, Lilith and Juno. I put it in quotes because they're not really that minor to me, but some astrologists just don't follow the lesser luminaries. being in your, I'll say this about Lilith and Juno conjunct at the end of Scorpio trining on Saturn. If you've got a part of you deep in there that is deeply committed to something, honors something or respects something or someone, it is deeply beneficial to quote unquote rebel and say fuck it and move in the direction of whatever it is that your soul wants to honor and commit to. Right? It's a little radical because it's Lilith, but it is a trine and it's a major positive energy, right? It's a positive energy dealing with Saturn. So, you know, if there's someone that you want to reach out to, or if someone, you know, ends up reaching out to you, it's probably because they hit that fuck it, what do I have to lose besides what I've got, you know, besides what I've got, if I get everything in return for it. So all right, with that, let's get into the Harrow. They are Dungeons and Dragons cards, guys. The little booklet has all kinds of Dungeons and Dragons terminology, so don't get hung up on some of the terms there. We'll translate. Also, moon events coming up, guys, on Monday. I have it in the Etsy shop, so if you guys want a reading for the moon event, like, let me know. Hop in the Etsy shop and get it for yourself. I'm going to be giving out the code names for it this weekend for those who get them. Okay, Pisces. Whoa. The carnival's been coming up in the last few readings, guys. Got the bear on top. This is my hand-drawn deck. Clarify the joke, please. The book. The book has been making an appearance. So is the mirror. We got them both out. Wow. Okay, clarify the uprising with the betrayal. Star in the reverse, black swan in the reverse. Damn, Pisces, we're going to get into this. Like, we're going to get into it. But hot damn. And y'all know I don't sugarcoat things here because y'all need to just hear it the way it needs to be heard. But it's not easy doing my job. It's not. It's not easy. We got the sun on top and the wound. The wound on bottom. Okay. Looking at the tops and bottoms of the deck. I'm getting main character energy is the one present in the carnival. So someone's chosen to participate in the arena that they are living life in, for sure. It was a choice they made. It's not like they got thrown into it by circumstance. They chose it. And they are super protective of their woundings. Super protective of their wounds and the people or situations that they're attached to because of those wounds. Hey, Rita, how you doing? And I feel like it's the joke, right? This is the first energy. Hold these cards up, if I can even hold them all up at the same time. These are the cards. Okay. And you can see on the joke card, there's like a little figure in front of this huge giant of a presence hanging out, blocking the entire pathway. Let me read a little bit of the joke for you because it's interesting. It is about an immovable object and needing to use what is essentially intelligence to get through it. So the joke is a chaotic good energy. It shows a terror that must be overcome, but not can only be defeated by trickery or artifice. This card can represent the value of humor in finding the way past a difficult person or task. You can't force whoever this is. Let me dial that back. Whoever the joke is, whatever or whoever is in front of them, right? That is the obstacle. They cannot force it to do what they want. Whoever that person is thinks it's hilarious that whoever this individual is would try and force them to do anything. Like, that's cute. You thought you had some control or power over me? That's cute. This person number one is dealing with an immovable energy. And the only way that they're going to get by this or out of this person's control of the situation is by trickery or like convincing them that it was their idea. You know, like person number one, if they're tied into somebody who is like a brick wall, they might have to make the brick wall think that they want to break up with person number one. You know, like person number one don't want to be with whoever this is or in the situation that they're in. So they kind of have to trick whoever or whatever it is into believing it's best to get rid of them. You know what I mean? Like it's going to require some intelligence. The joke is an intelligence card. Now the second energy. The uprising and the betrayal. That's fucking rough. The uprising is chaotic neutral. Okay. The uprising represents being caught in the clutches of something more powerful than you. It is an overwhelming strength that often crushes what comes in contact with it. The crown held high signifies an overthrowing of a leader of some sort. The overthrowing is coming from whoever the betrayal energy is. The betrayal is neutral evil. It is selfishness incarnate. Selfishness incarnate. Envy twists the spirit and leads ultimately to devastation. It can also indicate a person whose loveliness hides an evil heart. It came out with the star reversed and the black swan reversed. So whenever the star card comes out in reverse, there's no healing taking place, and or the exact opposite is happening, where there's actually destruction or degradation or depletion of energy, right, from somebody. It's the opposite of healing or filling someone up. We're talking about the disassembling of someone on a spiritual level, right? The black swan, that archetypal energy in the upright, and this is how I describe it. If you were to look at a lake full of ducks and there's one swan, you're mesmerized by the swan. It's more beautiful than the ducks. It's less common, right? It's more rare. But if you were to see an entire lake filled with swans and one of them is black, it doesn't matter how beautiful all the other swans are. You're going to be mesmerized by the black swan. It's going to take your attention. This person is the opposite of mesmerizing. They are probably super average, super common, super common. They could get this kind of person, this betrayal kind of person, this overthrowing person anywhere. There's plenty of them. There's plenty of them. This person's not special. Like whoever they're with in the mirror, right? Whoever they're with in the mirror, whoever is going on in their story, the only way they can get out of this story is if they trick whoever they're dealing with into essentially feeling like they're in the way, right? They need person number 2 to think that they are in the way of their life and happiness, so that person number 2 pushes them out. They can't let on that it's the other way around. This person's energy, number 2, person number 2, unhealed, super mess, right? Super messy energy. They probably have a temper too. With the uprising, they probably have a temper like they'll take somebody's fucking head off. They will take your fucking head off. This person, regardless of gender too, might even think like they've got you whipped her by the balls type thing. Like you'll do whatever the fuck I say. And I'm not going anywhere. Like they really have like dug their heels in. So what's the waxworks? I got the waxworks with the honor. And the honor originally came out kind of sideways. But we'll get there in a second. So the waxworks is chaotic evil. The waxworks is a place of helplessness and physical entropy. The mind might be willing, but the flesh is frozen in this place of horror. It is also the card of torture and imprisonment, signifying literal inability to move or a paralysis of a more prosaic kind. So they can't leave. Not only do they have this immovable object in front of them, person number 1, they can't leave. They want to, they think about it all the time, but they can't. They can't. They feel helpless. They don't know how to do. They don't know what to do to get out of it. And person number 2 is literally like it's torture. They feel like they're a prisoner in their own home. Person number 1 feels like a prisoner in their own home. Person number 2 is cutthroat. Cutthroat. And this person can't leave because they're protecting their wounds. They're honoring the fact that they are in the circus, which is wild because they don't actually want to be there, but they're there because they have to learn something and they're not going to get out of there. They're not going to get out of there until they learn it. They're not going to get out of there until they learn it. Hi, Tarot. Hi, Priestess Ruby. How are you? What's up? Don't drink the Kool-Aid. How you doing? Oh, really? You're both reading? That's so crazy. That's awesome. Yeah, like this is a little wild, guys. Like, I think Spirit is trying to shine light on the wounds that person number 1 needs to heal and take care of. They really do need to see this mirror. And the issue is, you know, they might have been in person number 2's energy at some point in their life, which is why they're in this mirror now, because maybe they were absolutely brutal. How they behaved was like torture, making someone feel like a prisoner inside the situation with them, right? Making them feel like a prisoner in their own relationship or in their own home, feeling like they couldn't be an individual or have their own life, feeling like their needs didn't matter, right? I'll get whatever the fuck I want the way I want it, right? Cutthroat. I will overthrow you. I will degrade you, I will diminish you, and I will hold power over you, right? That's person number 2. And they're in person number 1's energy. They're in that mirror for a reason. They both honor stagnation. They both honor stagnation and suffering. Yeah. If this, I mean, this reading is directed for person number 1. I don't think person number 2 would ever watch my fucking channel. So person number 1, like if you're catching this, you really need to address your wounds, father wounds, mother wounds, idol wounds, right? That's the card. Father, mother, idol, right? People we idolize who betrayed us in some way, whether they neglected us, right? Whether we weren't treated with consideration, or we weren't treated with compassion, or we weren't treated with understanding and patience, right? If we weren't included in decision making and honored as important, if we were told certain things about people, life, relationships, how to behave, how to climb the ladder, how to be a powerful person, blah, blah, blah. We have all these different, things that we've taken in as input, from other people. And some of them became like scripture, like they became gospel to whoever it was, and, person 1 receiving it. There are certain things that people said to them in misalignment that they live by. It needs to be addressed. It needs to be addressed. Let's get into the tarot. We're going to start here. We're going to start with the wild unknown. It's crazy. This is a wild energy. Like person number 2, like I would not be surprised if they had a vicious fucking temper. Vicious. And they might get other people in their corner too, because the uprising is a group card. So they might even have other people helping them diminish person number 1, right? To break them down. They're actively working to break person number 1. They want person 1 in submission to them, period. Oh, you don't like it? You're not happy? I don't fucking care. Don't ever bring it up. Do what you need to do for me and shut the fuck up. Like, that's person number 2's energy. I'm not even, like, that's no exaggeration. That's their energy. Fucking toxic as hell. Like, it puts a bad taste in my mouth, like, literally. What is going on? There might be children involved. That's that might just be a big reason why they feel they can't leave. It might not be relevant for everybody, but for some people, person 1 is children with person 2. What is going on? These aren't horrible cards. Clarify, please. What do we need to know about what's going on? Okay, that's like a ton of cards. I'll take the ones that flipped up right. What happens between here and here, please, Spirit? What happens between that and that? I've got Justice and the Empress out here. I've got Leo out here with the Sun card. Yeah, I've got Libra. I've got Libra twice. I've got Libra and technically Taurus because the Empress is Venusian. But I've got Justice and I've got the Empress here. I've also got Jupiter in Gemini and Jupiter in Pisces. Venus in Scorpio, Venus in Aries. Three of Coins is on the bottom. Reach out with the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is out twice. Someone's going to reach out. At some point, the Mother of Pentacles is super defensive, right? Whoever person number 2 is, that's the way I'm reading it, regardless of gender. That's a feminine energy. I don't doubt that. The Mother of Pentacles is defensive, right? Defending the self, combative, or trying to keep the high ground over person number 1. The Knight of Wands with the 5 of Swords is out here. That's definitely a heated confrontation, where someone might walk away. Someone might walk away. The Ace of Cups with the 10 of Swords. I mean, that is love. That's love betrayed. That is love betrayed. So I don't know what the hell is going on, what the betrayal is, but person number 1 gave them every single sword that they're sticking in their back now. Like, that's how the 10 of Swords works. Like, people could be upset all day that they got, betrayed or stabbed in the back. But the reality is those people wouldn't have had those swords if you didn't give it to them. So love is betrayed. Then we get the 2 major arcana, right? Justice with the Empress. The Sun comes out after that with the 10 of Cups, and the 6 of Cups comes out after that with the 4 of Wands. We have all this radiant rainbow energy on all of the cards. Crown chakra portals opening, third eye chakra portals opening. I'm even getting like, how could I describe that? It's like a spiritual mycelium. Like, you know how mushrooms have like their mycelium is like their root systems? It's kind of like that, but it's more emotional and spiritual. And I feel like it's anchoring in. And it's a connection, right? It's a deeper connection, an energetic connection that's kind of taking hold. Is this like legit a breakup? Because that's what it feels like. Just confirm that for me. Is this a breakup of person 1 and person 2? Is this a breakup? It's an opportunity. Yeah, to break up. Page of Coins with the 3 of Swords. Yeah, it's an opportunity to break up. Further clarify the Justice with the Empress, please. Further clarify Justice with the Empress, please. Yeah, the Hanged Man and the 3 of Cups. 3 of Cups is in the reverse. So the third party's gone, and now someone is in the Hanged Man mode, right? Piscean energy. I'm considering it person number 1. I think person number 1 is the one who has the Piscean energy for this read. Especially if Pisces Venus. Doesn't have to be. Pisces Venus might be real specific as well. Yeah, they're letting go of the third party and are detaching to see something differently. Clarify what all this gorgeousness at the end is. But don't get a whole lot better than that. Sun, 10 of Cups, 6 of Cups, 4 of Wands. I'm getting like someone is craving the light. 6 of Cups again. 6 of Cups on 6 of Cups. What else? Judgment and the 10 of Coins, or the 10 of Wands. So here's the thing. Whatever this is, this beautiful energy, the soulmate has to be resurrected, and it might not be easy. It might take some serious steps. Right? The 10 of Wands almost feels like a burden. To be fair, whatever this happiness is might look at person number 1 and the situation they've created like a burden. And it's up to them, right? It's up to this energy's judgment on how they're going to move forward. They might feel like moving forward with person number 1 is too heavy. Like it's too much. Bottom of the deck is the Knight of Swords. Top is the 7 of Wands, but they're willing to talk about it. And depending on the energy, they might come to person number 1's defense and genuinely help them in dealing with or severing with person number 2. Let's pull a little kipper real quick. Clarify who is concerned in the first energy. Who is of concern in the first part of this energy? Okay. So we've got a mature woman. Likely the mother, right? The Mother of Pentacles. That's the mature woman. This is not like young and ignorant maiden type energy. We've got community, which looks like multiple generations. So family dynamics, possibly involving friendships and different people, right? We talked about that in the uprising. And then we have this figure in despair. In despair, masculine energy in despair. He's sitting there with his dog on a box, you know what I mean, in the alley. The person number 1 is definitely taking losses. Clarify this energy here. Clarify this energy here. Journey. In the reverse. Why? Toil and labor. All right. So this transition, right, from despair with the group and whoever person number 2 is with person number 1. They're not moving forward. The Hanged Man with the Journey in the reverse, they're not moving forward. I think they're working really hard. I think they're working really hard to try and dissolve all of the third party energy. Clarify this energy here. Who does that involve? We got occupation and marriage. Three, 4, 3. Thinking about it. Thoughts. And pathway reversed. Whoever this third energy is, it's true soul spouse with marriage. They're probably supposed to be working together as well. If it's not romantic, then it's business partner. But if it is romantic, it could still be business partner. And whoever this person is, they don't walk the beaten path. They make their own. Which means person number one is going to have to carve out a new path with whoever this other energy is. And they're thinking about them. They're thinking about them and maybe even the work that they do. Like these two would have to learn how to make their own luck, so to speak, with the divine to get out of a poverty mindset. Or they don't have enough, or they don't have what's meant for them, right? Once they end up in each other's reality, if they end up in each other's reality again, they're going to have to work that out. Because that's going to be a kink in the program. They're going to have to get out of poverty mindset, both of them. And that might be difficult, especially if person number one is in despair and they're dealing with financial struggles. Or in this specific case, it does involve children or something, like everybody's situation is different. So apply it how it fits. What's the guidance? It's my Power of Love deck by 𝐬𝐴𝐵𝐴𝐵. I haven't used it in a hot minute, and I found it the other day when I was looking for my Kipper deck, and I was like, yes. Yes. Yeah, it's a nightmare. Okay, so I'm glad this makes sense. Jenny Martinez, how you doing? Nice to see ya. What is the guidance, please, Spirit? What do they need to remember? What do they need to remember moving forward? Okay. I've got remember the present. You live in the moment and are able to bring forth the energy of love in your current circumstances. Remember to bring love in your current circumstances. In the present moment. That means doing things that feel right to do, saying things that feel right to say in your soul. It's not what society taught you should do or should say. It's what needs to be done and what needs to be said in order to satisfy your soul from feeling stressed out, right? That's what bringing love into the moment is. When we bring love in, we bring spirit into the present moment and we listen. Second reminder is virtue. You acknowledge your loving spiritual attributes that encourage others to grow. Your virtues, you being able to tune into spirit like that and pull spirit into the present moment, right? That love into the present. That is a loving spiritual attribute that does encourage others to grow, because sometimes you just simply need to tell someone when you love them. Sometimes you just simply need to tell someone when you're unhappy. Sometimes you need to tell someone, this is what I'm capable of. This is what I'm willing to do. This is what I'm not willing to do anymore. This doesn't sit right with me. I don't want to do it. I fucking hate it, right? I don't want to do it anymore. You have to be honest. So you being in your light, bringing spirit into the present moment allows others to grow with you, even if it's apart. Even if it's apart, right? The last one is tolerance. You appreciate other points of view because you sense the love in everyone. It's okay if other people don't see things the way you do. It's okay. We do have to tolerate that not everybody sees things the way we see them when we want them to see it that way. It might take them a couple days. It might take them a couple weeks. It could take them a couple years. It could take them a couple lifetimes to figure it out. We have to tolerate that everybody has their perspective. Everybody has their purpose in life, their highest good path. Everybody has one. And it's okay if someone believes something different than you. Someone might sit there and call you a huge 𝐷ICK and tell you that they don't care if you are DIE. DEAD. That was so the wrong tense. They don't care, right? But the truth is, people do care if you are alive, and maybe you are not a horrible person. Like, just because they believe that or say that or project that doesn't mean that you are those things. Some people can believe in God. Some people can believe in spirit. Some people can believe in nothing. Some people can think that every little thing matters and it can cause them stress, and other people can be like, yeah, everything matters, but there's no reason to stress about it. You know, it's all about beliefs, and people are going to believe what they want to believe, what they need to believe in that moment for their healing. So it's okay if someone's not in alignment. You just got to tolerate the fact that they are not where you are and figure out what healthy boundaries you need to set up in place so that it doesn't affect you, right? Being in misalignment as far as beliefs go. Like, maybe you would be around this person every day. Maybe you would be a full-blown commitment with somebody if they didn't have a certain opinion or belief system that was toxic to a healthy relationship with you. Maybe you got to wait. Maybe you got to wait, or just keep them at arm's length. Like, we're civil. You can call me, you could text me, you can whatever, but it's going to be on a very limited basis because you and I are not ready for more than that. You know, it's being able to call it like you see it and trusting yourself with the shots you're calling. Like, it's fine. The worst that could happen is someone is like, okay, well, then I don't need to be here with you. You know, then I need to be somewhere else doing something else. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, right now, like, I'm enjoying life, but my biggest focus is my channels right now. You know, someone came up to me and was like, yeah, well, you spend way too much time on your channel. You need to spend more time doing this or that. I'd look at them and be like, you're allowed to have that opinion. You're allowed to have that opinion. But if I wasn't live as much as I am now, like, Spirit calls me every day. They've been calling me every day. So I've been present every day. I don't argue with Spirit. You know? And when you're listening to yourself, you're not arguing with Spirit either. You're not arguing with Spirit. You're like, all right, Spirit, this don't feel good. Spirit's like, all right, then do something about it. All right. You know, you got to listen to yourself. You got to listen to yourself. You're not wrong. If it feels like shit, you're not wrong. It definitely feels like shit. Don't let somebody gaslight you into thinking like this is how it's supposed to be. This is just life. Like, life is not supposed to be fucking horrible. Life was given as a gift, right? To experience all things. They were given free will to do so. So, and enjoy it. Choose what you love. Choose what you love. And let what you love choose you. Let what you love choose you. It's so important. Let yourself be chosen. Hear what I just said? Let yourself be chosen. It's a wonderful feeling. It's a wonderful feeling. I hope that helps, guys. Yeah, 100. I love y'all so much. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know. I find it interesting because Pisces is my 10th house of career. So I have to watch this back from that lens. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I think whoever the third person is, though, it's up in the air. Like I said, it's the judgment's up to them. Final call is up to them. Person 1 and person 2 have no say over what person 3 does. And whatever person 3 calls, like person number 1 is going to have to figure it out and see if it's okay. So that they could work with it, because otherwise the timing's not right. You know, we're getting there. Getting there, but not quite yet. So I love y'all. See you again tomorrow. You guys enjoy your night, okay? I love you. Thank y'all for being in the chat. Let's see, Rita, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Ginny, Tarot High Priestess Ruby. Thank you guys for popping in. And shout out to Risa, because she's probably sleeping. Otherwise, she would have been here. Shout out to Risa. If you made it all the way to the end, Risa, we love you. We're thinking of you. You beautiful goddess, you. All right. I love you guys. Bye.